Hello, and welcome to the Battleship Brawl Companion. I'm Spitfiredzwww. In this episode, I'll be reviewing the Saevus-class by Spitfiredzwww, or just Spitfire for short. Let's get right into it. So we've got a mostly metal ship. There's a bit of decoration. Not as fancy as some ships we've seen, but a very clean design with various ridges on the turrets, a spray guard at the bow, and more ridges in the back. This is actually a pretty fast ship. With the engines at full, we're making just about 22 meters per second, which may be good for probably at least a top 5 in this tournament, I believe. If I make a turn here, yaw rate is also quite decent at just a touch under 6 degrees per second. Speed is thanks to a very generous array of propellers on the back. I mean, they're just overlapped like crazy back here. Yeah, and the front is quite streamlined with mostly triangle corners. Next up is protection. Up on the hull here you can see a bunch of repair bots recessed into the deck. The internals of the ship, we've got many layers of metal on the side, so it's probably not going to be taking much damage from that direction. The deck is not as thick as that. See over here, a plunging fire shot could conceivably pass through only perhaps 3 layers of metal before hitting a turret. Although the turret does have some integral armor, so that will help somewhat. Fortunately, in its final fatal match with the Stalingrad, it was not able to keep enough of its weaponry online. Being made mostly of metal and other heavy materials like this stone in the less critical areas, the ship is a bit prone to being low in the water, again, as we've seen. There are some air pumps, but the compartments are perhaps smaller than the average. The one back here has some ACB-based pitch control. I think I saw some ACBs further forward, if I can find it again. Let's see, what did these do? Looks like this one's ammo processor based. I'm not a fan of ammo processors in this particular tournament because the crams don't actually use ammo up that quickly. So the faster regeneration rate of ammo processors is probably not so necessary. You can get by with just ammo barrels or even the onboard ammunition of the crams themselves. I mean, I'd rather use that materials for repairing. Not to mention, the ammo costs got effectively increased with the materials update. It was reduced a bit from the initial increase, but it is still more expensive than it used to be. Still, as far as I can recall, the Saevus was never actually sunk, so I mean, as long as the turrets poke out above the waterline, there's not really a problem. Well, let's talk about the weaponry. We've got 10 guns. That's a decent amount. I mean, not terrible, but perhaps slightly on the low side. I'd say 12 is what you'll be going for if you're having a big gun design. Do a test fire here. Is the ship listing? A bit. Pitch roll. Huh. These turrets are pretty heavy. They do have heavy armor on them, so turning the turrets like that does seem to induce quite a list. Let's see how far it goes. Almost capsize this thing. Yeah, we're reaching like about 30 degrees here. Can we capsize all the way? Yeah, let's not tempt fate. Yeah. Anyways, let's do a test fire on this side. Got a mix of APHE and pure HE shells. Looks like they're alternating with 3 mixed and 2 pure HE. The stats on these are, let's see, 20 boxes, that's a decent amount, 30 and 33.5, 30 and 41.5, so a decent mix there. I might personally go for a larger gauge and a few more material boxes, but I mean, not a bad mix at all. These are pure explosive. Seems to be a fairly similar setup. Internally, the turrets are decently efficient. I mean, there's definitely better out there. We've got a column in the center that's served by 4 autoloaders each. Surrounding it, we have 4 columns of 3 autoloaders each, and then a bunch of 1 and 2 autoloaders on the sides. With the familiar X patterns, it's possible to get 5 columns that have 4 autoloaders each. So this is certainly not optimal, but definitely not terrible either. The neck does have metal on it, which will give it a bit of extra protection. Although, against the huge damage of crams, 1 layer of metal is only going to do so much. The turret head has heavy armor, quite good protection against direct hits for the turret proper, but and a bunch of the barrels are recessed inside the armor. This is a bit risky. If it gets repaired in the wrong order, there is a risk of a misfire, although I don't believe we saw that happen in the tournament. Unfortunately, you can't really protect the end of the barrels very well. Any shot that hits the turret is probably going to shear off the barrels. And if it hits towards the front, the explosion may well propagate down the barrel chain, which will definitely cause problems for the turret. That said, I was surprised. I mean, these are among the better protected turrets I've seen, especially considering the explosion rules. So I was surprised they didn't fare better in the final battle against the Stalingrad. Still a very good record from the Saevus. Great design Spitfire, and I'll see you all next time.